I've been thinking about getting a new backpacking tent lately, going over a couple different ones, and that put me in the mood to break out my old tents that I have, which neither really do it for me as far as lightweight backpacking, and set them up and try them out. And there's supposed to be a bad storm coming up tonight, so for fun I thought I'd set them up, do a video of them, and then see how they perform in the rain and video them. The first one, orange one, is a Alps mountaineering Lynx 1, which is, I think it was $70 on Amazon. Very small one-person tent, but I got it for when we're going to go out in the winter. And I wanted a freestanding tent that was warmer. And for $70, I mean, it's heavy. I think it's over 4 pounds, but just for quick winter backpacking trips, so you're not hiking too far. But it's really small. The other one is a Tarptent Squall 2 that I bought a couple years ago. I don't believe they even sell it anymore. It's a single-wall, non-freestanding tent that I've taken out on a couple trips, and I took it to hike North Carolina through the Smokies on the Appalachian Trail. And I don't know, I didn't really like it that much. It's very hard to pitch. I was able to get a pretty good pitch here because I'm in my yard and I can set up the tents exactly the way I want them. But it leaked on me, water dripped in on the sides when I was hiking on the AT, and I guess it would be okay as a warm weather tent because it has good ventilation, but doesn't seem really weatherproof. It doesn't have a huge amount of room, and they don't sell it anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open them up, show you how much room is in each, and then I'll come back after the rain tomorrow morning and see if they're all wet or not. Here's the Alps Lynx 1. I opened up the vestibule and opened up the door and put a Z-Lite pad in it. It's probably going to be kind of hard to see, but you can see that even a Z-Lite pad pretty much takes up almost the whole entire inside of the tent. You could never fit a backpack in here with you. The roof actually isn't bad, but your backpack has to go outside. If I get in and sit down, my head is pretty much touching the top. To give you an idea of laying down. My head has a few inches here, and my feet are right up against the edge of the tent. I guess if you're a side sleeper, it might be all right. My arms are right on the side of every tent too. So this is a really tight tent. But my thought was, in the cold, that would be a benefit. It also has a little vent up here that you can prop open with a little pole that comes in there and velcros on to get some ventilation. And it has a couple pockets, all the standard stuff. So that's basically it for this one. And it has little windows at each end. Now the Squall 2, non-freestanding, single-wall tent. Quality, actually, I think is very nice. I don't have any complaints about the quality and how they made it. The front is all the headroom. The back doesn't have much room at all. You can see the Z-Lite in there. Enough room for you and your gear, or 2 people could fit in there, but it would be very tight. It gets a lot of airflow. I had a friend staying at one time, and it was a colder night, and he didn't care for it at all, just because he felt like he was sleeping outside with the wind coming through. But with a single wall tent, you got to keep the condensation down. But I don't think this would work at all in cold weather. And in the rain, like I said, I've had it drip in before. But if you don't get it pitched perfect, it's going to leak. This is probably the best pitch I've ever done. I really spent some time on it and really staked it out. But even still, I don't know if you can see, but even here, right now, when my hand is like that, Sorry. That bug screen is outside of the roof. Around the edge. It doesn't, I don't know, the sides just seem to naturally, right here, it's doing it just by itself, even without my finger. If it rains, it runs in, hits the screen, and then runs into the tent. And that's the exact problem I had. And this, like I said, is the best pitch I've ever had. I don't, if it was a good, nice weather weekend, I could see using this, but for a long trip or a through hike or something, I just could not be happy with this tent. The bathtub floor is okay. It's not super high. And then when I'm laying on it, sitting on it, it kind of flattens on the side. Now maybe again I just have it pitched wrong, but maybe it's just super hard to pitch. Where I'm sitting right now, here's where I'm sitting, here's the edge. My head is hitting the tent right now. You have to, for me to fit in here, I have to sit all the way to the very edge of the tent, and my head is still rubbing a little. So I don't know if I just don't set this up right or what it is, but I mean, it's a good warm weather, nice weather tent. It's pretty lightweight. I think it's around 40 ounces. It just, I don't trust it in cold or wet weather on the side. So we'll see with the rain tonight how it does. The other thing that I don't particularly like about it is, and I guess I can lower it down and show you. Here, hold on. So I close the outer flaps on the front door. And what you find is that when you lay down, the flap is so high, so if this is laying down level, you're basically totally open to the outside because the door flaps on the doors are super high. So when you're laying down, you're basically looking out. You don't have any privacy when you're laying down. Everybody can see right in the front of your tent. Here's the floor, and that's how much space there is. So this is head level laying down, and you're looking out. So we will see how it goes in the rain, and I'll record some tomorrow morning. Starting to rain. Thunder and lightning, and it's pretty windy. It's not windy at the moment, but so we'll see how it does. It looks like it's starting to sag a little. Maybe I should tighten it up. The rain pretty much stopped. It's just drizzling a little bit right now. It didn't actually last all that long. It only lasted maybe an hour. So I'm inside the Squall 2. And it's kind of hard to see, but there's definitely droplets of water on the floor in here. And you can see some water came in. Right here on the screen itself, you can see there's a big puddle right here on the screen. Didn't quite make it onto the whoops, there it goes, onto the floor, bathtub floor, but if you were laying on it and moving, I bet you that water would have come over. And it doesn't look like there's too much down there, and there's some water just seems to have dribbled right down here. So not terrible, but that was a pretty short, quick, heavy storm. If it was raining for a longer period of time, not sure how it would have been. But water did get in even on that quick, short storm. I'll see how the other tent did. Okay, the Alps, whichever Alps it was, tent is dry inside. We'll see that any water came in. Yeah, looks like I was totally dry. Maybe it'll rain some more tonight and I can check it in the morning. Otherwise, the Alps stayed perfectly dry. And the tarp tent wasn't terrible, but it does kind of confirm what had happened to me before when I was in the Smokies, that the water tends to somehow kind of curve and roll in through the screen and get stuck in the screen and then come in over the edge. So, like I was saying earlier,